You're drifting off with WSLP AM, Big Rapids.
The Northwoods Baseball Radio Network presents Sleep Baseball. Tonight, from Evermore Park in Baraboo, Wisconsin, it's the Baraboo Bombers hosting the Manistee Eagles of Manistee, Michigan. And now your host, Wally McCarthy.
Good evening, friends. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil reporting from beautiful Evermore Field in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Producer Phil and I are traveling with the Manistee Eagles on this Wisconsin road trip. And I'm happy to report that Phil's station wagon is back in action. So we do not have to travel on the team bus this time around. The less said about that, the better. It is a perfect night for a ball game. 71 degrees at game time, a gentle breeze blowing out to left field. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Manistee Eagles of Manistee, Michigan. Leading off and playing right field, Billy Joe Rickson. Batting second, third baseman Ali Nunez. Batting third, left fielder Mickey Navarro. In the cleanup spot this evening, catcher J.B. Gantry. Shortstop Tito McCaskill will bat fifth. First baseman Gian Haggerty bats sixth. Batting seventh, center fielder Lincoln Smathers. Second baseman Rodrigo Merrihew will bat eighth. And batting ninth, starting pitcher Billy the Burro Brello. Brello enters tonight's game with a record of 7-5 and a 4.78 ERA. The starting pitcher for the Baraboo Bombers this evening is veteran right-hander Edgar Whitehouse. He enters tonight's contest with a record of 8-4 with a 4.27 ERA. His battery partner is catcher Buzz Norton. And defensively for the Bombers, Manny Del Greco is at first. Blaze Winterbottom at second base. Dieter Gomez will play third base. Tiny Howell is at shortstop. Joe Bill Silver is in left field. Bugs Yamaguchi in center field. And Buddy Lamont rounds things out in right field. And producer Phil has a nice note here from the Wentz family. Norman, Ron, Chesley, and Astrid Wentz. They enjoy listening to games on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network out in Massachusetts. And we'd like to thank them for listening and for the nice note. The Wentz family. And Crew Chief B.R. Montebianco has signaled that it's time to play ball, so we are underway here at Evermore Park. And Billy Joe Rickson will step in against Edgar Whitehouse. And the pitch to Rickson. Slider misses outside. Ball one. And the 1-0. Another slider outside for ball two. The 2-0 pitch. That's a fastball called a strike. 2-1. And the 2-1. Changeup misses low. 3-1. And the 3-1. And that's bounced to first baseman Manny Del Greco, and he'll step on the bag for out number one. And Ali Nunez will step in. One out, nobody on here in the top of the first. And the pitch. Fastball misses just outside. 1-0. The 1-0. Fouled back. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Hammered foul down the third base line. 1-2. And the 1-2. And that's hooking foul and into the stands, and we'll do it again. The pitch. Slider outside for ball two. The 2-2. And that slider runs inside. Full count. And the payoff pitch. And that's hit in the air to deep left center. Joe Bill Silver is drifting back. And he makes the catch on the warning track for out number 2. 2 outs, nobody aboard for Mickey Navarro. And the pitch. Fastball in there for strike 1. And the 0-1. And that fastball misses inside, 1-1. The 1-1. Changeup misses low, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Slider called a strike, 2-2. And the 2-2. Changeup misses low, full count. And the payoff pitch. Slider low and outside, and that's a 2-out walk for Mickey Navarro. Runner on first, 2 outs for J.B. Gantry. And the pitch. And he takes a wild hack at that outside slider, 0-1. And the 0-1. Fastball misses low, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled back, 1-2. The 1-2. Ground ball right side. And that's going to squeak through the infield for a base hit. And Navarro is going to hustle into third base. 2 outs, runners on the corners here in the top of the first for Tito McCaskill. And the pitch. Fastball misses high, ball 1. The 1-0. And that fastball misses just outside, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled back and out of play, 2-1. and the 2-1. A late swing and a miss on that high heater. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. And that's a base hit to right. Navarro will come in to score. Gantry safe at third. And that's a 2-out RBI single for Tito McCaskill. And the Manistee Eagles are on the board here in the top of the first. 1 run in, 2 outs. Runners on the corners for Gian Haggerty. And the pitch. Fouled back, 0-1. The 0-1. Fastball called a strike, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Chopped foul down the third base line, and we'll do it again. And the pitch. And that's a broken bat flare that will drop into the hole in shallow left. Gantry will come in to score. And McCaskill will be safe at third. And that's an RBI single for Gian Haggerty. The Manistee Eagles now lead 2-0 here in the top of the first. 2 outs, runners on the corners for Lincoln Smathers. And the pitch. Fastball misses low, 1-0. The 1-0. Changeup called a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Grounder to second. Winterbottom has it and scoops to first in time to end the inning. But the Manistee Eagles are on the board, and they lead 2-0. We'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Stay up to date with all the shenanigans of the Sleep Baseball universe at sleepbaseball.com. The latest episodes, news from the Quint Cities, and fabulous items from the gift shop. Sign up for Wally's World our infrequent and mildly entertaining newsletter. Find it all today at sleepbaseball.com.
And welcome back to Evermore Field here in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you. As we begin the bottom of the first, the Manistee Eagles lead the Baraboo Bombers 2-0. And Bugs Yamaguchi will step in against Billy the Burro Brello. And the pitch to Yamaguchi. Curveball misses low and outside, 1-0. And the 1-0. Fastball called a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Chopper to third. Nunez has it and fires to first in time to retire Yamaguchi. One out, nobody on for Manny Del Greco. And the pitch. Fouled back and out of play, 0-1. The 0-1. Curveball misses outside, 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-2. The 1-2. And that's a fastball called a strike for out number 2. 2 outs, bases empty for Joe Bill Silver. And the pitch. And that slider misses outside for ball 1. The 1-0. Another slider outside, ball 2. And the 2-0. And that's a broken bat chopper to third. Nunez scoops it up and fires to first in time to retire Silver to end the inning. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for the Burro. Manistee on top 2-0 after 1 inning. And we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Hello. You know me. This is Ed, Uncle Hat. The good folks over there at Big Tom's Shoe Repair and Gelato asked me to drop by and say a few words for them. Big Tom's been in shoe repair since he was knee-high to a locust, and his wife, whose name escapes me, has been in the gelato business for several days now. Why don't you stop by over there to Big Tom's Shoe Repair and Gelato and get your shoes repaired? If you're like me, you've put up quite a few miles in on those shoes. Why don't you get a nice cup of pistachio while you're there? And tell Big Tom that Ed Uncle Hat said hi and don't kick him. Thanks for listening.
And welcome back to Evermore Field here in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil reporting. The Manistee Eagles lead the Baraboo Bombers 2-0 as we begin the top of the second inning. And Rodrigo Merridew will lead off against Edgar Whitehouse. And the pitch. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Hooking foul and into the stands, 1-1. The 1-1. Swing and a miss on that high heater. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled back and out of play, and we'll do it again. And the pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike 3. 1 out, nobody on for the pitcher's spot. Billy the Burro Brello. And the pitch. Curveball misses low, 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. And the 1-1. fastball in there for a called strike 2. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on that slider in the dirt for out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Whitehouse. 2 outs, bases empty for the top of the Manistee order, Billy Joe Rickson. And the pitch. Slider misses outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Another slider outside, 2-0. The 2-0. Chopped foul down the third base line, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt, 3-1. And the 3-1. Fastball misses outside, and that's a 2-out walk for Billy Joe Rickson. Two outs, runner on first for Ali Nunez. And the pitch. Chopper to third. Long throw by Gomez. And it is in time to retire Nunez to end the inning. After 1.5, it remains Manistee 2, Baraboo nothing. We'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
This is Giovanni Gasparo. When I was a kid, we did all kinds of crazy things, like stand on our heads and eat a cracker. Later, some of my friends turned to their drugs, and all kinds of things happened to them. This has been Giovanni Gasparo with the PSA for WSLP.
And welcome back with us. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil here from Evermore Field in Baraboo, Wisconsin. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Manistee leads 2-0, and Dieter Gomez will step in against Billy the Burro Brello. And the pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike one. The 0-1. And that's a curveball in the dirt. 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on that changeup. 1-2. The 1-2. Curveball misses low. 2-2. And the 2-2. And that's popped up to center. Smathers drifting in. And he has it for out number one. One away, bases empty for Buddy Lamont. And the pitch. And that's a curveball in the dirt. Ball one. The 1-0. And that's lined into center. And that will drop in for a hit. And that's a one-out single for Buddy Lamont. Runner on first, one out. Manistee leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the second for Buzz Norton. And the pitch. And that's in there for a called strike one. The 0-1. Popped up, way up over home plate. Yantry is camped under it. And he has it for out number two. Two outs, a runner at first for Blaze Winterbottom. And the pitch. That's hit in the air to left. Navarro drifting over. And he has it to end the inning. With two in the books here at Evermore Field, the Manistee Eagles lead 2-0. And we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Hello, this is Tim at Baraboo Necessities. Where can you go in Baraboo to find everything you need? That's Baraboo Necessities on Berkeley Boulevard. The first 10 customers that come to our grand reopening get a Baraboo Bombers baseball cap. Baraboo Necessities. We've got what you need.
And welcome back with us here at Evermore Field in Baraboo, Wisconsin. As we begin the top of the third, the Manistee Eagles lead the Baraboo Bombers 2-0, and Mickey Navarro is due up against Edgar Whitehouse. Navarro walked in the first inning. And the pitch. Fastball misses high. Ball 1. The 1-0. Fastball cut on and missed. 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The 1-2. Changeup high and outside. 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike 3. 1 out, bases empty for J.B. Gantry. Gantry singled in the first inning. And the pitch. Curveball called a strike. 0-1. The 0-1. An awkward swing and a miss on that outside slider. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. And that hits Gantry on the shoulder, and he'll trot down to first base. Runner on first, 1 out for Tito McCaskill. McCaskill had an RBI single in the first. And the pitch. Fastball called a strike. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on that outside curveball. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. fly ball to deep left center. Yamaguchi is after it, and he makes the catch on the warning track for out number 2. Two outs, runner on first for Gian Haggerty. Haggerty had an RBI single in the first inning. And the pitch. And that's a wild pitch that gets away from catcher Buzz Norton. And Gantry will hustle safely over to second. And the 1-0. Chopped foul, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Changeup in there for strike 2. And the 1-2. Chopper back to the mound. Whitehouse scoops it up and flips to first in time to end the inning. Manistee leads 2-0 in the middle of the third. And we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Stay up to date with all the shenanigans of the Sleep Baseball universe at sleepbaseball.com. The latest episodes, news from the Quint Cities, and fabulous items from the gift shop. Sign up for Wally's World, our infrequent and mildly entertaining newsletter. Find it all today at sleepbaseball.com.
And welcome back with us here at Evermore Field in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you. As we begin the bottom of the third, the Manistee Eagles lead Baraboo 2-0. And Tiny Howell will step in against Billy the Burro Brello. And the pitch. Curveball called strike 1. The 0-1. And that's a slider in the dirt. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Chopped foul down the third base line. 1-2. And the 1-2. Chopper to second. And that ball takes a funny hop. And Merrihew bobbles the ball and will not have a play at first. Score that one E4 if you're scoring at home. Runner on first. Nobody out for the pitcher's spot. Edgar Whitehouse. And the pitch. Fastball called a strike. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. And the 0-2. Whitehouse showing bunt. And that's in the dirt for ball one. The 1-2 pitch. Chopped foul and out of play, and we'll do it again. And the pitch. And he drops down a bunt. Brello will scoop it up and toss to first to retire Whitehouse. But he moves Howell safely to second base. One out, runner on second for the top of the Baraboo order, Bugs Yamaguchi. And the pitch. Fastball paints the corner for a called strike one. The 0-1. Chopped foul and out of play. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Popped up shallow right. Merrihew drifting over. And he has it for out number 2. Two outs, runner on second for Manny Del Greco. Del Greco struck out in the first inning. And the pitch. And that one gets away from Gantry, and Howell will advance safely to third base. Score that one a passed ball. And the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-1. The 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. And that changeup just misses the corner. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt. Full count. And the payoff pitch. Fastball outside, and Del Greco draws a 2-out walk. Runners on the corners now. 2 outs for Joe Bill Silver. Silver grounded out in the first. And the pitch. Fastball runs inside, 1-0. The 1-0. Chopper to second. Merrihew is there, and he flips to first in time to retire Silver to end the inning. And the Burro works out of a jam here in the bottom of the third. With 3 in the books, it remains Manistee 2, Baraboo nothing. We'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Hello. This is Winston T. Winston, President of WSLP. I would like to cordially invite you to WSLP Circus Days at the Carpetland parking lot on Colfax. Look for the large circus tent and the clowns making balloon sculptures. Balloons provided by Mr. King's Party Goods. There will be hot dogs and chips and snow cones and cotton candy, blue and pink flavors. Please join me, Winston T. Winston, Wally McCarthy, and Blink Rederson, and other special guests to be announced at WSLP Circus Days at the Carpetland parking lot on Colfax this weekend. Thank you.
And welcome back to Evermore Field in Baraboo, Wisconsin. As we begin the top of the fourth inning, Manistee leads Baraboo 2-0. And Lincoln Smathers is due up against Edgar Whitehouse. Smathers grounded out in the first. And the pitch. Chopped foul down the first base line. 0-1. The 0-1. Fastball misses outside. 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. Another fastball outside. 2-1. The 2-1. And that one's fouled back and out of play. Count even at 2-2. And the pitch. Curveball misses outside. Full count. And the payoff pitch. Hard grounder to first. Del Greco has it and steps on the bag to retire Smathers. One out, bases empty for Rodrigo Merrihew, who struck out in the second. And the pitch. And that's a curveball that misses low. 1-0. And the 1-0. Fastball called a strike. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt. 2-1. The 2-1. Slider cut on and missed. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball inside. Full count. The payoff pitch. Chopper to short. Howell will scoop it up and fire to first to retire Merrihew for out number 2. Base is empty. 2 outs for the pitcher spot, Billy the Burro Brello. Brello struck out in the second inning. And the pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike 1. The 0-1. Curveball misses outside. 1-1. the 1-1. And that's fouled back in, out of play. 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt. 2-2. The 2-2. Fastball way outside, full count. And the payoff pitch. And that's spanked into shallow left. And that's going to drop in for a base hit. Runner on first. 2 outs for the top of the Manistee order, B.J. Rickson. Manistee leading 2-0 here in the top of the 4th. And the pitch. Fouled back, 0-1. And the 0-1. Fastball called a strike, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Slider misses low, 1-2. And the 1-2. And that's hit in the air, deep to left. Hooking foul and into the stands, and we'll do it again. And the pitch. Popped up to right field. Lamont is there, and he makes the catch to end the inning. After 3.5, it remains Manistee 2, Baraboo nothing. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th in a moment, here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
I'm Giovanni Gasparo for Mr. King's Particles. We're the only one in the Queen City area with a helium. How else you gonna float a balloon without a helium? That's what I say. Go over to Mr. King's Particles. Tell him that Giovanni Gasparo sent him. What a lift. Mr. King's Particles.
And welcome back. Bottom of the 4th here at Evermore Field. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you. The Manistee Eagles lead the Baraboo Bombers 2-0. And Dieter Gomez will step in against Billy the Burro Brello. And the pitch. Fastball misses outside. The 1-0. And that's a curveball called a strike on the corner. 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. And that's fly to left. Navarro giving chase. And he has it for out number 1. 1 out, bases empty for Buddy Lamont. Lamont had a single in the second inning. And the pitch. And that's roped into the gap in left center. And that's a 1-out single for Buddy Lamont. One out, runner on first for Buzz Norton. And the pitch. Fastball called a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1. And that's a hard-hit ball right into the glove of first baseman Gian Haggerty for out number 2. Runner on first, 2 outs for Blaze Winterbottom. And the pitch. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. And the 1-0. Curveball low and outside, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Curveball called a strike, 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. And that's flared into shallow left. And that will drop in for a 2-out single. Runners on first and second. 2 outs for Tiny Howell. Howell reached on an error in the third inning. And the pitch. Dribbler back to the mound. Brello scoops it up and flips to first to retire Howell to end the inning. And after 4 innings, Manistee leads Baraboo 2-0. And we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
This is Salty Sal of Salt City Confections. In addition to our world-famous popcorn balls, try our bonbons, rock candy, and nut-covered sweetmeats. We're located on the Manistee Riverwalk next to the world's largest cupcake. Salt City Confections. Your confection connection.
And welcome back with us here at Evermore Field in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Manistee leading 2-0 as we begin the top of the 5th inning. And Ali Nunez will step in against Edgar Whitehouse. And the pitch. Instead, Whitehouse will step off the mound. Looks like he's shooing some bugs away from his face. And producer Phil pointing out that it is the peak of what's known as gnat season here in Baraboo. And here's the pitch. Curveball misses outside, 1-0. The 1-0. And he waves at that inside fastball, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled back and out of play. 1-2. And the 1-2. Fastball misses low. 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. And he whiffs at that high fastball. And that's another strikeout for Edgar Whitehouse. And Mickey Navarro is due up. 1 out, nobody on. Manistee leading 2-0 here in the top of the 5th. White House still being bothered by those gnats. And the pitch. Curveball called a strike. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike 2. The 0-2. Slider misses outside. 1-2. And the 1-2. Curveball in the dirt. 2-2. And the 2-2. Curveball called a strike, and Navarro is down on strikes. 2 outs, nobody aboard for J.B. Gantry. Gantry had a base hit in the first and was hit by a pitch in the third. And catcher Buzz Norton will head out to the mound to meet with White House. Actually, it appears he's helping disperse the growing swarm of gnats around the mound. Perhaps they are attracted by the rosin bag out there. And here's the pitch. Chopper back to the mound. White House has it and tosses to first to retire Gantry to end the inning. And White House now swarmed by a group of gnats so thick we can see them from the booth. And he's hustling at top speed back to the clubhouse showers. That's one of the worst attacks on a White House I've seen since 1814. After 4.5, it remains Manistee 2, Baraboo nothing. We'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Stay up to date with all the shenanigans of the Sleep Baseball universe at sleepbaseball.com. The latest episodes, news from the Quint Cities, and fabulous items from the gift shop. Sign up for Wally's World, our infrequent and mildly entertaining newsletter. Find it all today at sleepbaseball.com.
And welcome back with us It's the bottom of the fifth inning here at Evermore Field in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Manistee leads Baraboo 2-0, and pinch hitter Vernon Tracy will bat in the pitcher spot against Billy the Burro Brello. And the pitch. Fastball called a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1. And that's lined into the gap in shallow left. And that's a leadoff single for Vernon Tracy. Runner on first, no outs for the top of the Baraboo order, Bugs Yamaguchi. And the pitch. And that's popped up to shallow center. McCaskill drifting back. And he has it for out number 1. Runner on first, 1 out for Manny Del Greco, who has struck out and walked this evening. And the pitch. Fastball called a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. Curveball misses low, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, and that's driven deep, center field, way back, and that's a long, lazy home run to deep center for Manny Del Greco. And this ball game is tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Bases cleared, 1 out for Joe Bill Silver. And the pitch. And that's lined to center right. And that will drop in for a base hit. Runner on first, 1 away for Dieter Gomez. And the pitch. Curveball misses low, 1-0. And the 1-0. Fastball inside, ball 2. The 2-0. Curveball in the dirt, and Brello falls behind, 3-0. And the pitch. And Gomez gets all of that one. That is a towering home run to deep right field. And just like that, the Baraboo Bombers pull ahead 4-2. Bases empty, still one out for Buddy Lamont. And the pitch. Fastball misses low, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball called a strike, 1-1. The 1-1. Bounced foul down the third base line. It's 1-2. And the pitch. Changeup misses low, 2-2. And the 2-2. Hard grounder to third. Nunez scoops it up and fires to first to retire Lamont. 2 outs, bases empty for Buzz Norton. And the pitch. Fastball called a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. And that changeup misses high, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Another changeup misses high, 2-1. The 2-1. Fly ball to left. And that will drop into the gap for a 2-out single for Buzz Norton. And that's the 5th hit of the inning for the Baraboo Bombers. Runner on first, 2 outs for Blaze Winterbottom. And the pitch. Curveball misses low, 1-0. The 1-0. Fastball called a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled back and out of play, 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. slow roller to third. Tough play for Nunez. And his throw to first will not be in time. And that's a base hit for Winterbottom. Norton advances safely to second base. Two outs, runners on first and second for Tiny Howell. And the pitch. Curveball called a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Popped up to left field. Navarro charging in. And he has it to end the inning. But the Baraboo Bombers get on the board and pull ahead here in the bottom of the fifth. And they now lead 4-2. We'll be back with the sixth inning in a moment here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Hello. You know me. This is Ed Uncle Hat. My good friends at Ed Horn's House of Sleep asked me to drop by and talk to you a minute about their mattresses and other sleep-related items. Beds, headboards, nightcaps, and essential oils. They just added the essential oils last week. Ed Horn's wife, Beatrice, got over there, and she's really into the essential oils. She makes her own. They have a few little tubs out back. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Ed Horn's House of Sleep. You don't need to count your sheep if you go to Ed Horn's House of Sleep. Ed Horn.
And welcome back with us in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil reporting. As we begin the top of the sixth inning, the Baraboo Bombers lead the Manistee Eagles 4-2. And Tito McCaskill is due up against Baraboo reliever Stretch Parsons. And the pitch to McCaskill. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. The 1-0. Fastball called a strike. 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. Slider misses low. 2-1. The 2-1. Curveball cut on and missed. 2-2. The 2-2. And that's a slider in the dirt. Full count. The payoff pitch. Curveball misses low for ball 4. And that's a leadoff walk for Tito McCaskill. Runner on first. No outs for Gian Haggerty. Haggerty had a single in the first inning. And the pitch. That fastball misses outside. 1-0. The 1-0. Fastball called a strike. 1-1. The 1-1. Curveball misses low. 2-1. And the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses just low. Full count. And the payoff pitch. Fastball called a strike, and Haggerty is down on strikes. 1 out, runner on first for Lincoln Smathers. And the pitch. Curveball called strike 1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss on that low curve. 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow right. Del Greco drifting back. And he has it for out number 2. Runner on first. 2 outs for Rodrigo Merrihew. Merrihew has struck out and grounded out this evening. And the pitch. Bounced foul down the third base line. 0-1. The 0-1. Fouled back and out of play. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt. That one gets away from Norton, and McCaskill will advance to second. And the 1-2 pitch. And Merrihew gets all of that one. That's a long home run into the stands in right field. And just like that, it's a new ball game. And we are tied at 4 here in the top of the 6th. 2 outs, bases cleared for the pitcher spot. Billy the Burro Brello. Brello had a base hit in the 4th, struck out in the 2nd. And the pitch. And that's flared into the gap in shallow right. And that's a 2-out base hit for Brello, his 2nd hit of the evening. Runner on first, 2 outs for the top of the Manistee order, Billy Joe Rickson. And the pitch. Chopped foul past first, 0-1. The 0-1. Fastball called a strike, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Slider misses inside, 1-2. And the 1-2 to Rickson. And that's a curveball in the dirt, 2-2. And the 2-2. Curveball misses outside. Full count. The payoff pitch. Chopper to short. Howell is there and flips to first in time to end the inning. But the Manistee Eagles push 2 runs across, and this ball game is tied at 4 here in the middle of the 6th. We'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
$10 3 AV. specializing in Betamax and multi-regional DVD. The only such service in the Quint City area. Timbuk 3, AV.
And welcome back with us here. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you. Ballgame tied at 4 here at Evermore Field, and reliever Stretch Parsons will stay in the game and bat for himself here in the bottom of the 6th against Billy the Burro Brello. And the pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt. 1-0. The 1-0. Fastball misses outside. 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch. And that changeup misses low, and Brello falls behind 3-0. And the 3-0. Fastball called a strike. Parsons taking all the way. The 3-1. Fouled back and out of play. Full count. And the payoff pitch. Slider downstairs. And that's a leadoff walk for Stretch Parsons. Runner on first, nobody out for the top of the Baraboo order, Bugs Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi is 0 for 3 this evening. And the pitch. Curveball misses low, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. And that's a hard liner to right. And that's a fair ball that hits the line. And that's going to roll all the way into the corner. And Yamaguchi will have himself a double. Parsons will advance to third. Runners on second and third. Nobody out for Manny Del Greco. Del Greco belted a home run in the 5th. And the pitch. Slider in the dirt. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Hard liner to first and right into the glove of Haggerty. Runners will not advance. 1 out, runners on second and third for Joe Bill Silver. Silver has singled and scored a run this evening. And the pitch. Fastball runs inside, 1-0. The 1-0. Fouled back, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball called strike 2. And the 1-2. Slider cut on and missed for out number 2. 2 outs, runners on second and third for Dieter Gomez. Gomez had a homer in the 5th. And the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, 0-1. The 0-1. And he takes an awkward hack at that low curve, 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. And he looks at a fastball for strike 3 to end the inning. And Billy the Burro Brello works his way out of a jam here in the bottom of the 6th. And it remains tied at 4 here at Evermore Field. We'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Hey kids, this is Blink Rederson. I'm here at Ted's Fishing World, and I just want to say they've got some great deals for people that like to fish or wish they could fish. They have reels, and they have lures, and they have bait. RLB, they call it. You can get the RLB specials 25% off if you mention my name, Blink Rederson. Ted's Fishing World. If fishing's in your head, trust Ted. Ted.
And welcome back on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you. Ball ballgame tied at 4 between the Baraboo Bombers and the Manistee Eagles as we begin the top of the 7th. And Ali Nunez is due up against Stretch Parsons. Nunez 0 for 3 this evening. And the pitch. Curveball outside, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch. And that's a fly ball to left. Silver is there. And he has it for out number 1. Bases empty, 1 out for Mickey Navarro. And the pitch. Fastball called a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1. Changeup cut on and missed, 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on that low curve, and Navarro is down on strikes. 2 outs, nobody aboard for J.B. Gantry. And the pitch. Fastball misses outside, ball 1. And the 1-0. Fouled back, 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. And Gantry dances out of the way of that inside fastball, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Fly ball to deep right. Lamont is after it. And he makes the catch on the warning track to end the inning. And Stretch Parsons sets them down in order here in the top of the 7th. Game tied at 4 as we head into the stretch. And we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
This is Giovanni Gasparo. When I was a kid, we did all kinds of crazy things, like stand on our heads and eat a cracker. Later, some of my friends turned to their drugs, and all kinds of things happened to them. This has been Giovanni Gasparo with the PSA for WSLP.
And welcome back to Evermore Field here in Baraboo, Wisconsin. The game is tied up at 4 here as we begin the bottom of the 7th. And Buddy Lamont is due up against Manistee reliever Boots Standish. And the pitch. Curveball misses low for ball 1. And the 1-0. And that's a slider in the dirt. 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled back and out of play. 2-1. And the 2-1. Fouled back again. Count even at 2-2. And the pitch. And that slider misses just outside. Full count. And the payoff pitch. Fastball cut on and missed for strike 3. 1 out, nobody on for Buzz Norton. Norton 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 5th. And the pitch. Fastball misses low. 1-0. And the 1-0. Fouled back and out of play. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Chopper foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Fly ball to center. Smathers is there. And he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 outs now, bases empty for Blaze Winterbottom. Winterbottom is 2 for 3 with a couple of base hits this evening. And the pitch. Curveball misses low, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike. 1-1. And the 1-1. And that fastball runs inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the 1-2. Fastball high and tight. Count even at 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Curveball misses low. Full count. And the payoff pitch. And that fastball runs inside, and that's a 2-out walk for Blaze Winterbottom. 2 outs, runner on first for Tiny Howell. And the pitch. Fastball misses low, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. And that's a curveball in the dirt, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Another curveball in the dirt, and Standish falls behind, 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch. And that changeup misses high, and that's back-to-back walks issued by Boots Standish. Runners on first and second, 2 outs for the pitcher's spot. Stretch Parsons. Parsons will bat for himself and stay in the game. And the pitch. And that fastball misses outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses low, 2-0. Standish having some control problems at the moment. And the 2-0. Low again for ball 3. The 3-0 pitch. Fastball called a strike, 3-1. Parsons taking all the way on that one. And the 3-1 pitch. Curveball misses low, and Standish walks the bases loaded with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Ball game tied at 4. And the top of the Baraboo order is due up. Bugs Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi is 1 for 4 this evening. And the pitch. Fastball called strike 1. And the 0-1 pitch. Chopped foul down the first base line. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball high and outside, 1-2. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss on that looping curveball, and Yamaguchi is down on strikes. Boots Standish works his way into and out of a bases-loaded jam here in the bottom of the 7th. And it remains tied at 4 between the Bombers and the Eagles. We'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Hello, this is Tim at Baraboo Necessities. Where can you go in Baraboo to find everything you need? That's Baraboo Necessities on Berkeley Boulevard. The first 10 customers that come to our grand reopening get a Baraboo Bombers baseball cap. Baraboo Necessities, we got what you need.
And welcome back on WSOP. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you. The game is tied at 4 between Baraboo and Manistee as we begin the 8th inning here at Evermore Field. And Tito McCaskill will step in against Stretch Parsons. And the pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike 1. The 0-1. Changeup misses outside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. And that's a fastball called a strike. 1-2. And the 1-2. And that's a chopper back to the mound. Parsons scoops it up and flips to first in time to retire McCaskill. 1 out, bases empty for Gian Haggerty. Haggerty 1 for 3 with a single in the first. And the pitch. Curveball called a strike. 0-1. And the 0-1. Chopped foul down the first base side. 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses high. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball runs inside. 2-2. And the 2-2. Changeup misses low. Full count. And the payoff pitch. Ground ball to first. Del Greco picks it up and steps on the bag to retire Haggerty. 2 outs, nobody aboard for Lincoln Smathers. Smathers 0 for 3 this evening. And the pitch. Fastball misses outside. 1-0. The 1-0. Popped up to left. Joe Bill Silver is there. And he makes the catch to end the inning. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Stretch Parsons. Eagles 4, Bombers 4. And we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Hello, this is Ed, Uncle Hat, for Ed Horton's House of Sleep. Ed called me up the other day to help get the word out for his going out for business sale. Seems Ed fell asleep at the wheel there, and the pole barn is stacked to the rafters with mattresses, headboards, lamps, these new gummies they got there behind the counter. They're supposed to help you sleep. I I tried one the other day and I slept like a baby. I woke up every 3 hours. That's an old joke. Actually, I slept for a day and a half, but that's neither here nor there. They don't have essential oils at the moment because of the mishap, but Beatrice is fine. Anyway, come on down to Ed Horn's house to sleep. You don't need to count your sheep if you go to Ed Horn's house to sleep. Ed Horn.
And welcome back to Evermore Field here in Baraboo, Wisconsin. We are tied at 4 as we begin the bottom of the 8th. And Manny Del Greco will step into the box against Boots Standish. And the pitch. High fly ball, deep center. Smathers is there, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Bases empty, 1 away for Joe Bill Silver. And the pitch. Curveball called a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1. Slider cut on and missed for strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on that outside fastball, and Silver is down on strikes. Two outs, bases empty for Dieter Gomez. Gomez 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer in the 5th. And the pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt. Ball 1. And the 1-0. Fouled back and out of play. 1-1. The 1-1, and that's fouled back again for strike 2. And the 1-2 pitch, and that's a slider in the dirt. Count even at 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Curveball called strike 3 to end the inning. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Boots Standish. As we head to the ninth inning, the Bombers and the Eagles are tied at 4. And we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Stay up to date with all the shenanigans of the Sleep Baseball universe at sleepbaseball.com. The latest episodes, news from the Quint Cities, and fabulous items from the gift shop. Sign up for Wally's World, our infrequent and mildly entertaining newsletter. Find it all today at sleepbaseball.com.
And welcome back with us here at Evermore Field. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you. The Bombers and the Eagles are tied at 4 as we begin the top of the ninth. And Rodrigo Merrihew is due up against Stretch Parsons. Merrihew is 1 for 3 this evening with a home run in the 6th inning. And the pitch to Merrihew. Curveball outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball called a strike, 1-1. And the 1-1. Fouled back and out of play, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt, 2-2. And the 2-2. Hard liner, and right into the glove of a leaping Dieter Gomez at third base. 1 out, bases empty for pinch hitter Tony Burns. And the pitch. Driven to left center. And that will drop into the gap and roll all the way to the wall. And that's a 1-out double for Tony Burns. 1 out, runner on second for the top of the Manistee order, Billy Joe Rickson. And the pitch. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. The 1-0. Changeup misses low, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. And that fastball misses low, and Parsons falls behind 3-0. And the 3-0. Fastball called a strike, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Another fastball called a strike, full count. And the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss on that inside curve, and Rickson is down on strikes. 2 outs, runner on second for Ali Nunez. Nunez 0 for 4 this evening. Game tied at 4, top of the ninth. And the pitch. Curveball misses outside, 1-0. The 1-0. Slider in the dirt, 2-0. And the 2-0. Fastball runs inside, 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt for ball 4. And Nunez will trot down to first base. Runners on first and second, 2 outs for Mickey Navarro. And the pitch. Fastball called a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1. Changeup misses outside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, 1-2. The 1-2. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Manistee strands a pair, and we're tied at 4 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. We'll be back here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Timbuk 3, AV. Specializing in Betamax and multi-regional DVD. The only such service in the Quint City area. Timbuk 3, AV.
And welcome back to Evermore Field here in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Baraboo and Manistee tied at 4 as we begin the bottom of the 9th. And Buddy Lamont will step in against Manistee reliever Buddy Malone. Lamont is 2 for 4 this evening. And the pitch. Curveball called a strike. 0-1. And the 0-1. And that fastball misses low. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. And he waves at that curveball in the dirt. 1-2. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. One away, bases empty for Buzz Norton. Norton 1 for 4 with a base hit in the 5th. And the pitch. Curveball misses low. 1-0. The 1-0. And that slider's in the dirt for ball 2. And the 2-0. Curveball in there for a called strike 1. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Chopped foul, and we'll do it again. And the pitch. Fastball misses low. Full count. And the payoff pitch. And that's a slider in the dirt for ball 4. And that's a 1-out walk for Buzz Norton. Runner on first. 1 out for Blaze Winterbottom. Bottom of the 9th. Game tied at 4. And the pitch. Fastball misses low. 1-0. And the 1-0. Slow roller to third. tough play for Nunez. And the throw gets away from Haggerty at first. Winterbottom is safe at first, and Norton will end up at third base. 1 out, runners on the corners for Tiny Howell. And the pitch. Fastball misses outside. Ball 1. The 1-0. And that curveball misses just outside. 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Fisted foul, 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. And that's roped into the gap in right field. And that's a game-winning RBI single for Tiny Hal. Some ninth-inning fireworks here as the hometown Baraboo Bombers take this one 5-4. For the victorious Baraboo Bombers, 5 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. And for the visiting Manistee Eagles, 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. We'll be back with the post-game show here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.